Hey everybody, it's Conroy. Welcome back to more Pokemon Emerald. In the last episode, we captured the legendary Rayquaza by shouting at it in Spanish. And in this episode, I am on the dreaded route. He's right over there. Luckily, he does not want a rematch, so he's not quite out for blood. I'm going to run past him now. Yes! Okay, made it. Okay, so... Anyway, in this episode, we are going to be heading off towards Meteor Falls. I didn't show it at first because this was going to be really time-consuming and I wanted to get back to the Sky Pillar, not Spear Pillar, Sky Pillar, before we did anything else. So I have my Waterfall user, Relicanth, and we are going to head through Meteor Falls, which is so pretty and has such nice music. And by the way, yes, I know, Regirock, Regice, and Registeel all have amazing battle themes. As does Topola City has really great music. But I just say the music's awesome so much that I kind of figured it went without saying, yet I had people that were kind of not thrilled with me for not mentioning that, and I need to use my item finder really quick. Now, here in Meteor Falls, there's a few items that we can get, but there is a new Pokemon you can get here after you get Waterfall. And it is really, really, really useful to do this, okay? Let's see, where do we want to go? Could surf, I guess. Actually, no, we can't surf. Never mind. And, oop. I really, really want to use a repel because, I don't know if it's just my imagination, but I've always had bad experiences with the encounter rate in this place being, like, stupidly high. Like, it is just nuts how high it is. So, we're going to go down here. Okay, so... There's going to be some trainers throughout here, and if I recall, they actually are kind of devastating because you aren't meant to fight them until after you get Waterfall, so... I do remember the trainers in here being a bit tough. Hey! What do you know? It's... Granny and... Baldy. John! We battled Pokemon together as a twosome. At least not a threesome. And here we go, he's going to go like... And then he pops his hair out, and Granny changes her clothes as well. So... Old couple John and Jay. I never knew Jay was a girl's name, but okay. Or OJ, as I should say. Ah, that was bad. Okay, so. I'm saying okay so a lot. Here in double battles, Earthquake is a really good move because it hits both opponents. Downside is it hits your ally as well. I don't think I'm going to resort to using that quite yet. What I'm going to mainly do is I'm going to... oh, you suck! Shouldn't have wasted my nose laser on you. Crap, now I'm going to be loafing around for a turn. Dang it. Hariyama, are you going to go down at late? Wow, a lot more HP than I was anticipating. What do you say I go for Earthquake and switch out to Altair? I think that would be the better idea because Altair is not affected by ground-type moves. Well, this is off to a wonderful start, isn't it? And, oh, thank God. Okay, I thought for sure it was going to hit Moagami. You might notice that my team is level 43. That's because those rematches in the Pokénav that you can get, I went ahead and took care of a good chunk of those off screen just because I think I could use a few more levels for the later areas of the game. And fighting those trainers again, you suck! Fighting all those trainers a second time I think could just get kind of stale because we've already fought every single one of them and it's basically just the same fight only with a little higher level. Granted, it is good experience because trainers do give more experience than wild Pokemon. Could you stop using Protect, if only for a moment? About 5 years into that text box, we finally get to him actually doing damage to Hariyama. Hariyama! Okay, Earthquake, Dragon Breath, go. Yes! Okay, thank God. Just go down, lay down, die. So let's see, speaking of grandparents, I don't know about you guys, I don't know if you ever watched cartoons in the 90s or how many of you 90s cartoon watchers I have in my viewers, but I don't know about you guys, but when I get old, I want to be like the grandparents on Hey Arnold. Those have got to be the coolest grandparents who have ever lived. They're amazing. Especially the grandpa. He just was so quotable, and then, like, grandma was just nuts and was just so funny. She was the funniest character on the show. That show was really crazy. Like, watching that again, I can't believe some of the stuff they got away with back then. Like, they had an episode where they had, like, Nazis, but instead of swastikas, they had, like, sad faces on the front. Let's see. The champion even visits. Do you even know how special it is here? Wow. I went to talking about sad faces replacing swastikas in a 90s cartoon to talking about the champion of Hoenn. So I guess they're kind of getting us on the subject of the champion here. Champion, if you haven't guessed, is the strongest trainer in a given region, and they typically are very well respected and are, well, in most cases in Pokemon games, the final boss of the game. So we have a little bit of a hint towards the champion here, which we've heard about the Elite Four before, which is the next step above where we are, but the champion is going to be the next step above that, so gonna keep doing Rock Tomb here. And Rock Tomb's actually proven to be surprisingly effective still on Moegami. Even though I didn't think it was gonna be the best move to teach it, it's actually pretty good. So, 1,400 experience. I know how much my Altaria is worth now. Wow! 2 Altarias, man. I gotta say, I like Altaria, okay, but I concede that it is not the greatest dragon type in the world, so I'm really surprised this guy's got 2 of them. And watch this paralyze me. Yeah, that's the thing about it. I don't know why that is. Every time they ever use Dragon Breath on you, it always paralyzes. But if you use it on them, it never works. Like, think about how many times I've actually had that work so far in this LP. It's pretty few and far between, because not nearly every time that I use Dragon Breath is paralyzed, yet almost every time that they've used it on me, it always works. Okay, yes, do your Dragon Breath. Am I gonna live? Yeah! Okay! I gotta say, I'm kind of surprised that I won that with just 1 Pokemon. I won that with 1 Pokemon! Alright, so, didn't expect it to be so strong. 1776, wow, patriotic much? Speaking of that, the Freedom Tower is gonna be like 1776 feet tall, which I always thought was like one of the coolest things they ever did, but that's kind of off topic. Let me use one of these lava cookies that I bought a ton of, but almost, no, not on Altair, use it on Moegami, thank you. And I just realized that Teddy is level 42. He needs to get a level, so I'll go ahead and switch to him. Or her. I keep getting people saying, like, you keep calling Teddy a him when it's really a her, which, granted, I definitely do deserve to be called out on that because, well, it's pretty obvious and it's right in front of my face. It's just that it's named after my male cat, so it's really, really tough for me to remember. And I went the wrong way. Crap, I'll meet you guys back up where Dragon Tamer Nicholas was. Now, a few things I guess I should mention is Dragon Tamer Nicholas, he registers you in his Pokénav, and after 5 rematches, his Pokemon has Dragon Fangs, which you can steal from his Pokemon by using Thief, which is kind of an arbitrary way to obtain items and kind of morally wrong, but hey, that's how the game designers intended it, I guess. And I should also mention that the wild Pokemon in this area, when you go past the waterfall and into the other rooms, the Pokemon themselves are going to be in the 30s, possibly level 40s, and thus are going to be much stronger. But, on that subject, we have this tiny room here in Meteor Falls with only a little bit of land on it, like 10 spaces on the south end, 10 spaces on the north end. I hope I said north and south once each and not one of them twice. Here we have TMO2 Dragon Claw, which is a really good dragon type move. Not the best, because that belongs to Outrage and later to Draco Meteor. But I'm thinking of teaching that to Altair just because, well, Dragon Breath is only 60 power, and like I said, it never paralyzes when you use it compared to Dragon Claw, which has 80 power, so a little bit stronger. But in this room, in this small area with only 20 tiles of ground that you can find it on, there is a Pokemon that only appears in this room, and that is Bagon. Bagon is a pure dragon type, one of very few that exist. Has the ability Rockhead, which is kind of nice, preventing it from getting recoil. But it's not that special until it evolves into Shelgon, where it becomes pretty defensive only in this stage. But if you can grow Shelgon up to a really high level, trust me, it's going to be tough for you to do this before the end of the game without going insane. Bagon becomes very special indeed, because it evolves into the almighty Salamence. This thing tears everything up. Intimidate, as its ability, makes up for its lack of physical defenses. It can be a mixed attacker. It has pretty good typing with an immunity to ground. This thing is aggressive as hell. So good, in fact, that in a future game, it was actually banned from tournaments. Yeah. One of very few non-legendary Pokemon that was ever banned from tournaments. An honor that has only ever been held by Wynot, Wobbuffet, I believe at one point during Red and Blue Ditto, due to a glitch that could happen where if 2 Dittos met in the field of battle, it would never end. And Garchomp. But yeah, it's alright, and Excadrill as well, yeah, Excadrill. But yeah, an honor that hasn't been held by many non-legendary Pokemon. This thing has actually been banned from tournaments. So, yeah, needless to say, it's pretty good. here we have TM23 Irontail, now that we're done talking about that. I guess there is one thing that I can think of here in Slateport City that I've never shown that I kept saying I was going to, and that's the fact that after you get the TM for secret power for the first time, you can come to this store. This guy will sell you things for your secret base, which is why he wouldn't sell you stuff before. This stuff's alright. You can make music in your secret base with these mats if you arrange them correctly and walk on them. You got these balloons that'll pop into water when you step on them, which is kind of weird. These bricks that you can put your plushes on top of. I don't know. I don't really use the secret bases too much. I guess they're kind of cool and they're a lot easy. They're really easy to use, but I don't really find myself using them much. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's any other thing that we haven't shown yet, because without anything else to do, we'd be heading off to the final area. And I don't want this thing to end! I don't like this! I don't know what your opinions have been, but in all honesty, Emerald has not been nearly as stressful to make as the other Pokemon Let's Plays, just because I've become a lot more experienced over the past few years. And on top of that, I think Emerald had my best commentary of the three, at least as of yet. I mean, there's still time for me to screw it up, but I think it did have my best commentary out of the 3 Pokemon Let's Plays that I made so far, just because it was more enjoyable as a whole, and I had a much better time with it. But, that guy who had the bird Pokemon, let's see, what's the thing you have there? Oh, it's called Pokedex Really Awesome. Is it this guy? Speaking of Pokedex, no, it's not this guy. He's still talking about Steven, who is just ridiculously strong, saying that he's much... Quit blocking the door to your house! What, do you just love me so much that you're gonna trap me in your house? Ah, this kid. Good, welcome back, Wingle. Huh? What is it holding? A mental herb. Must have picked it up somewhere, but I'm not a trainer, so you can have it. So, here we get a mental herb. What's really funny is this item prevents you from being attracted to the opponent if you're holding it. It's kind of funny. It's like... yeah, it snaps you out of infatuation instantly. It's consumable, so I'm not going to be equipping it, but it's kind of funny how the smart item makes you not fall in love. Anyway, during those rematches, I ended up running into Gabby and Ty again. Hi, I'm visiting an area near Route 111. We're trying to find some up-and-coming talent in the field. Today we turned our lens on Trainer Emil. There's something about this trainer that piqued our interest. We battled Emil before, but we could test Trainer as most definitely improved before. I knew we were on something special we spotted this trainer. This is the best way to determine how strong a trainer is. Well, the fastest way is to battle, so we began our investigation. That's how we ended up in a battle with Emil. In a dominated performance, we were flattened, rolled up, tossed aside. Emil is ruthlessly strong. Here is our impression of having battled the future trainer. I lost confidence in myself as a result of the encounter. We were beaten before we could launch a single attack. Oh, sniffle. In spite of that, Emil's battles are worth seeing. I recommend the confident trainers but challenge Emil. Wow, Emil's battles are worth seeing. Sounds like the game is recommending my videos to you people. After our battle, we asked Emil for a succinct summary. The trainer replied, Nitwit! Emil's Pokemon Altaria and Blaziken. And Nitwit. That's deep. There's deep significance behind that quote. No surprise, a good trainer has good things to say. That's all for today. See you on our next broadcast. My god. I don't know. I always love doing those things. That's one of my favorite things in this game to do, and I know that it shouldn't be one of my favorite things in this game to do. Alright, let's see. Lily Cove City, there's stuff there that doesn't open up till after we're done with the main adventure. Mossdeep City, a lot of you guys keep emailing me about Beldum. We can't obtain Beldum in Mossdeep City till after the main adventure is over, so nothing about that. Sutopolis City, okay, yes. We didn't show off the right side of town that was blocked off while Rayquaza was there, so I guess we can just go around there and see what there is to see. What do you got? Circle of night sky framed creating a volcano. At night, the rings and stars flicker and blink above as if we're alive. It's my favorite scenery. Too bad you can't look up in this game because it's always a top-down perspective. What do you got? Wow, this is a nice place you got here. When I was young, I traveled the world as a Pokemon trainer. Now I've become an old buzzard. My only amusement is watching the young trainers battle. Now, this guy has a tree here that's in front of a staircase. This has baffled a lot of people and is similar to the stack of boxes that has a staircase behind it in Fire Red and Leaf Green. You can fight trainers that you've mixed records with there. It pretty much just deals with mixing records. Actually, no, not mixing records. It has to deal with e-reader cards. If you have e-cards with trainers on them, that's where you go to battle, and I did not mean to pull that up. Hello, you're our first guest in a good while. You brighten up my day, so I'll give you a big Whalmer doll. You betcha! Okay, so there's a Whalmer doll you can get for your secret base, which is kind of nice. And, the thing is, I own an e-reader, but I don't own any Pokemon Battle e-cards. I used to, but I don't know where they've gone, so unfortunately, that's one feature I don't think I can demonstrate for you guys. Now, the Pokemon Lotad is resistant to Stumples. I mean, I love big Lotad. My brother says that C-Dot is bigger, but he's wrong. Everyone knows Lotad is bigger. If you have a Lotad, please show me. We have a Ludicolo that's not in our party. I'll just show you Teddy. Well, isn't that something? But it's no Lotad. Now, these guys argue over which Pokemon's bigger. You just take your Pokemon to them, and they give you items every time that you beat the record. So, there's always people like that, which is kind of odd because Pokedexes have height data for Pokemon. I guess it's an average height, but still. Listen up, I'll tell you something good. There's supposed to be an ancient ruin in the sea around here. Could be treasure just waiting to be discovered there. Well, we kind of already looked through all those areas with shards. Ancient treasures. It'd be nice if they existed, but even if they didn't, it would be so beautiful to take underwater with strong Pokemon. Okay. I think we only have one more house here to show. I've never been out of the city. Wonder what the world is like on the other side of this round sky. It's kind of poetic when you think about it like that. Mount Pyre! And its peak! 2 orbs are placed side by side. Did you know that? No! Is that so? Perhaps you ought to visit and see. Okay, fine, I'll be honest with you, Granny. 2 orbs side by side. Sight of them together. It is somehow soothing. Well, I guess now that we're done here, only thing left to do is to head to Mount Pyre. Now that we've been told by that old lady that we should see it, because we were told that Maxie and Archie perhaps went have to go return the orbs, so let's do that. Alright, summit of Mount Pyre with the Animal Crossing music. Let's head up. Email. ... And that is the last we will ever see of Archie from Team Aqua and Maxie from Team Magma. Unfortunately, I'm gonna miss doing that voice. The 2 men who took the orbs came back to return them on their own. Those men, perhaps they are not so evil after all. It is my role to pass on legends of Hoenn to future generations. And the crisis that just ended in Sootopolis rewrote a legend. Have you the time to hear the new legend of Hoenn? You bet. It happened long, long ago. The new legend of Hoenn? Yeah, it happened a whole 3 episodes ago. The world was racked by a ferocious clash between Pokemon of land and Pokemon of the sea. The Pokemon of the land raised mountains and created continents. The Pokemon of the sea raised huge waves and carved out oceans. Their fierce duel raged without end. The world was engulfed by massive fires and vicious storms. It was then that the Pokemon of the sky descended from the storm. The Pokemon, shining a vivid green, becalmed the 2 enraged Pokemon. Then, its duty done, the green Pokemon flew off into the wild blue yonder. Sounds just like what was happening a few episodes ago. So, doesn't sound any different from the old legend. History repeated itself. But, now that we are all done there, what do you say we fly to Pacific Log Town, get Kappa out of the PC, and head off to that one town we haven't explored yet? Crossing the sea once more, if you look to your right, you will see some hunks of rock and a bunch of water. If you look to your left, or if you look down, you will see that I have just encountered a trainer that I didn't mean to fight and... Oh my god! She's standing on the water and her shoes are up there with her! Her and her shoes are the second coming of God! No, I'm kidding. I don't know. It's like in Okami how the water plate makes me feel like a true god because you walk on water with it. But yeah, I don't know, how's she standing on water and apparently her shoes are also gods. I don't know. That doesn't mean they smell that bad. I don't know. Anyway, so if you look to your left, you will see even more water and some rock formations. And then here we have some more rock formations, some slightly different sprites for rocks, some gray sprites for rocks, some brown sprites for rocks. The reused water texture on screen a couple hundred times. We're now on Route 129 using all the same textures, the same tile repeated over and over again. We see a text box out at the bottom of the screen indicating that our rappel is worn off. We head around this rock, through this diving area, and we run into a wild Pokemon, which as you can plainly see is a Tentacle, which we have the evolved form of on our team, and it's only level 16, meaning that we could have avoided it if we would have just done that. And I'm going to have Teddy attack it with strength, hoping to see if I can get a level up. If I can get a level up, then that would be very, very good, but I doubt it's going to happen because it's not only a wild Pokemon, but also level 16, and what do you know, I didn't get the level up. This is that route that has the 3 heart scales in it that is only an emerald, but I can't seem to ever find them, so I don't know what to do. And here we have a trainer battle. The swim cycle of grueling racing consists of 3 and her and her shoes are also gods, and her name's Caitlin. Okay. What? Giving me a number? Okay. But yeah, that was actually kind of fun to do that, just going through that tangent. But if we keep following the rocks over here. Alright, now that we've avoided that, Why did I move for? The thing is, playing this game with an analog stick, not trying to complain about controls or anything, because it's fully playable with an analog stick. It's just that sometimes my thumb gets kind of tired and letting go of it, you know. And this guy's name is Harrison, who's right near the Pokemon League. Don't know if there's any connection with that with the English dub of the anime, but that was the name of the Hoenn League champion in the anime around this area. And now that we're here, we've arrived in Ever Grande City. Now you might notice that if you try to use fly here, you can't fly there quite yet. The reason for that is because they want you to have waterfall to be able to enter, and because of some odd game design choices, you have to go up the waterfall, touch the land, and then you can fly here, as you can plainly see right here. I can now select it. And because I'm lazy, I'm just gonna fly like 10 spaces north to the Pokemon Center. Hey, what? Scott! Emil, you've clawed your way up to face the Pokemon League. I'm happy for you. You've made the cheering worthwhile. Emil, if you were to become the Pokemon League champion, I'll get in touch with you then. Okay, Emil, go for greatness. Well, we have Scott on our side now at long last. So, let's heal up, and what do you say we get Kappa out of the PC now that we no longer need Relicanth to get us around places? Because, well, we don't need to do anything anymore. Well, actually, we do need some TMs. How about I check to see what TMs we actually need really quick, or TMs, HMs, before we head inside. Okay, I think I have figured out what it is I'm going to be doing for this area with the HMs we need. But, we're going to be tackling that in the next episode. So, next time on Pokemon Emerald, we're going to be heading off through Ever Grande City. Victory Road. See you guys then.